Today's episode is in celebration of Women's Month. And today we have a special guest. Hi, my name is Donald Bongani Modido, and welcome to the NodPodcast, where we document people who went from humble beginnings into success stories. Asa. Yeah, welcome to another episode of the NodPodcast. Today we are stepping into the world of technology. Our guest is one of the people that I'd long wanted to have, and finally we are here now. She's into tech. She's now a SAP technical. I don't want to butcher your thing now. Is a senior SAP technical consultant in the banking industry. But today we are not into the title. We are more into her background, her story, her journey that she took to be where she is right now, and it's very a humble one to be here, and I would like to introduce you to Vangile Msimango. So bonuses.
Hi. So, Sabona njani?
Ngiyaphila.
Ngiyaphila.
Njani?
I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. No complaints.
How has it been? I think the last time I saw you, you were having lunch. Go Tasha's.
Where were you?
No, is it Tasha's? Go. Yeah.
It was just before you left the bank.
Before I left the bank in this, yeah, and
It was where we had those lamb chops. It wasn't touches. But
I'm
we
not kidding.
lived
I
there.
saw like you
Yeah, I
on that way,
remember the
but it
place,
was it was a heartwarming one because I think from let's start back. Now, when I got to even like know more about you was through Sandy. I've heard about you, Ekaya, but when I got to speak to him, he's like, "No man, Vangelo Tenko Kunetbank. Have you met her?" And I'm like, "No." And then he started like breaking down the relationship and go to Osakai and stuff like that. And then that's when I met you the first time.
Yeah.
And from there, that's when I started like learning your journey, Osakai, and your sibling. Surprisingly, she's Togo. She's one of the people that Kostrate.
You know them. Yeah.
So it was that. And okay, before I can even start, like, thank you for accepting the invitation. It's really heartwarming and galable. And today it's more about you. I'm going to do less of the talking. We're going to have you telling us your journey about where you come from and to where you are right now as a senior SAP technical consultant.
Corrections, actually.
Chin-chin.
It recently just changed.
La.
So now I'm more on specializing, so I'm a principal SAP consultant.
It's no longer a senior. Principal, not principal education.
No, not that
but the
one.
principal different one.
In the banking, yeah.
No, congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
I think I only saw it on LinkedIn, by the way. This, like, what you're going to discover today is someone who can just surprise you out of nowhere. You have that tendency of surprising us. But let's start from Vangile.
Who Vangile is?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Vangile is just a girl that grew up in Ekasi and she has always been reserved. She has always kept to herself. However, yeah, I grew up vacationing. I went to Kiarabezu. I walked to school, walked back. Same high school. I think at some point I thought actually for high school I was gonna go out because I had convinced my dad to say I don't want to do any high school go vacationing or something like that. But yeah, my dad knew the principal and was like, hey, she wants to go where Memal Zugu, the principal, was like, no, but my schooling's in 100%. There's nothing wrong with it. And that my dad was confused. So I was like, I Memal Zugu or help on how you'll have to always Africans. So she's waiting for you up there. And once my dad has made up his mind, it's that. So yeah, I'm just there.
Kasi girl.
I'm definitely a Cassie girl. I'm that Cassie girl that, I would go from school to home and cartoons. That was me.
Oh.
Yes. So maybe my cassiness I so because I was that reserved. From home to watching Survivor, from home to watching Amazing Race. And that was basically it. I was friends with my mom and my dad and maybe few people in my street. But it wasn't that much. I was more into TV, to be quite honest with you. So that's who Vangile is. She's just a Kasi girl that went to a Kasi school and somehow God managed to assist me into who I am today.
Oh, no, that's that's a summary.
Yeah.
But today I got to deal with summer. Today we're gonna be very brief.
You wanna do deep
I wanna
dive?
deep now and
Okay.
to get to know background there and I know you have siblings. How many siblings do you have?
I have 3 siblings.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm the firstborn. I'm not enjoying it so much. It's not the nicest thing ever in the world. I'm a firstborn, and I have 2 girls after me and a brother who is a lastborn. So yes, there's 4 of us. We're raised by both my mom and my dad, and yeah, I grew up being daddy's little girl, to be quite honest with you. I wouldn't say our background was the it was hard. It was I'm not gonna lie about that. My dad had a good job. My mom was a stay-home wife. My primary and my high school was nice. I wasn't spoiled, but my needs were met. I had to have things that kids, normal kids would have. We were not struggling at all. And I think the other thing was my dad was kind of known because he worked for the Department of Education. So I was kind of that person that was kind of known because every day there's an intercom, come to the office because there's a brown envelope that's supposed to go to the Department of Education. So that was basically my childhood was wanani wa wantatwani, But it was good. I was very close with my dad and with my mom. We had I had an upbringing that was normal. I do not have any childhood trauma. And I'm grateful for that. And I wish that my sibling could have had the same experience. That's why sometimes even being a firstborn, I took it up with like shoulders up because I'm like, you know what? I'm actually showing up for how I was raised up. It wasn't bad. They tried. My dad and my mom tried. Yeah.
You seem to be a daddy's little girl, and again, but it goes without saying with parents, right? They a girl child will gravitate more toward the father in a way, and then the boy will go to the mother.
True.
And I think with you've been with your dad for most of the time.
I must say, uh, my dad was everything, you know. Sorry. So yes, I was steady everything until I got to varsity.
Yeah.
But it was short lived because even in varsity, it was a thing of okay. First and foremost, when I left for varsity, I wanted to run away from home. I think everybody wants to that, right?
Yeah.
Wherever you're like, oh, my parents are too strict. Like you wouldn't even go to Kitty 31st, you know your cousin are sneaking out. Where I wouldn't even get that because I'll get the lashing every time I go like, we're going somewhere. My dad was very strict.
Yeah.
So I was very, even with that, when I left varsity, I was like, yo, thank God, no more every time we go buy clothes, I have to buy an extra skirt because it's important that on Sunday we go to church. You know? So for me, it was a thing of, oh, finally, I can only buy jeans. I don't have somebody that's going to force me to go to church and stuff like that. So me living for varsity, it was kind of like I was trying to run away from this strictness that was happening. I remember I applied for Portuguese room. I was like, I'm not even going anywhere close by. But also, my dad being my dad, I was like, no, that's too far. Because also, Father Bale was in his area. You know, I didn't want to go anywhere. Bloemfontein is also in his area because he travels a lot with work. So I wanted to stay very far away. But yes, I was completely daddy's little girl. Varsity times, I struggled sometimes with adjusting. I would call him at 3 a.m. and say, please come pick me up. It's just too much noise. I'm not coping. You will come.
Oh.
My dad was always showing up.
Yeah.
I knew that I don't have an allowance, but I know that somewhere during the week he's gonna pop up. So I'll go stock up whatever that I need.
Yeah.
He's gonna leave me with 100 rand. I'm fine because I know next week he's coming back again.
Exactly.
My laptop is broken or my computer is broken. I know that I'll call him. He will come with some guys from his work. They will assist me quickly. So that's basically it. Like my childhood, I think things took a turn in varsity.
Yeah.
But growing up, my dad was forever present. My mom was forever present, but very strict.
Very strict.
Absolutely strict. I have never done anything. Yeah, you know they will have sneak peek mujolonyana there. But my dad was so strict that even a boy passing my house and is outside, he'd go like, why should be like a haka wena? Like that was my dad. So there wouldn't even be boys outside. But yeah, that's
That's how the relationship between you and him.
my relationship with my dad was absolutely amazing. I was daddy's girl.
Yeah.
And things took a turn when I got to varsity, where he changed. He changed, and that was that. And I think, you know, looking back now, it was painful and whatever. But looking back now, I was like, yo, but I was too spoiled. Wouldn't I have fought so much if he was still around? I don't think so. And that's when I realized that sometimes God works in miraculous way to actually carve and path your way. People will look at you and say, no, but you had it all, and you know, and whatever. But it was that until a certain point. I was not exposed. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have anything because I think CAT started when I was in grade 11. You know. So it started in grade 10 when I was in grade 11.
Yeah.
And fortunately enough, when I got to varsity, I wanted to study medicine, but there were science and whatever. I remember for the half of the year I didn't even have a science teacher, so it became a bit of a difficult there. So I remember I applied. It was still in the medical field. I applied for psychology, but it was psychology with computer science for some weird reason.
Yeah.
But when we went to check after your results came up, you go to, I don't know if your days, if it was still there, but it was building 25 where there was this academic flag that will go. You know, he went and he saw my results. I was like, oh, distinction from meds. Oh. I was like, oh, when I overshadow why first, why we are school, you know? And my dad is sitting here. He was like, no, that's a no go. And it's like, actually, there's IT and there's a space there.
Yeah.
He immediately changed everything there. And you're sitting there like, what is
What is that?
what is IT? What am I gonna be doing? Because you know, in our time we grew up in that thing of you have to be in the medicine field. You have to be in the even engineering. I think I got exposed with it more when I was in varsity. But then ube doctor, you had to be a teacher. You have to, you know, things like that. So that's how I actually now got accepted into studying IT.
Yeah.
But the information was not there for us. Because I remember going to the library, going through a career book just to check to say, it's matric now, decision needs to be made. What do we do?
Yes.
Okay, and I think the other thing that helped was we were part of the top 10 of the school, so we had to have that. Was it Ikateleng?
Yes.
That also, honestly speaking, it opened so much. It gave us so much information. Because first and foremost, we couldn't have applied for NEPSAS because we didn't even know that there's something like NEPSAS that is available. We didn't know about applying in time for varsity because obviously that stress is such an awake. It's not it where you're only applying, you don't know. So because of Ikateleng, because of that program, we got to be given the application. We applied in time, applied for NEPSAS in time. So as much as you had not made up your decision of which field am I going in, but at least you're in that database.
Yeah.
So that helped a lot.
No, that's we're gonna touch more on the varsity side, and I just because now you just mentioned something about being on the top 10, right? When you're still studying, and I'm just thinking how were you? Just maybe take me back to you. Okay, we can skip the primary side, but how was Vangile secondary? What success looked like back then
Sure.
to you?
I think one teacher once said, and that was in matric, I was like, well, now you're actually not smart, you're just hardworking.
Oh.
Right? It had at that day.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a sore thing.
Yes.
But now in life, you actually realize, actually, yes, I am. I'm not your smartest, but I do put in work, right? So Vanilla in high school was, I think I was still also trying to find self and make friends. And sometimes people don't even want to be friends with you because your dad is known and this and that. You understand? So I think I was okay passing until grade 10. I remember going to school one day early. I think that's a memory I have, and passing a class and seeing, I think it was Mr. Budiswana. He had a maths morning class, and he said to me, "Why offer it again? I got class, you know." And then I got in and I started attending those morning class where they were reviewing maths and whatever, and I made friends. And so from there it was a thing of I have this group of friends. I think how many were we? I think we were 4 or 5 who were just influencing each other into academics. We would share anything and everything. We were together. We'd make sure it was a good friendship that I had, where it was all about competing and making sure that you're getting the maximum. But we knew that okay, number one is always this one, number two.
Yeah.
So when maybe you are somewhere there,
Tamilo, yeah.
number five, yeah,
Yeah.
but you'll eventually make it somewhere. But that was about it. Yeah.
No, that's good. I think you in life where you get friends who I would say they motivate you to do more, and academically,
True.
I think that also I guess will apply to your varsity life, whereby this is how I'm going to. I think I can say you're selective in terms of friendships, because we don't want people who are gonna mislead you in a way. So I think you had that in mind, Uguti. I'm gonna choose these friends and we're gonna compete in a good way. I think there's never you don't want to now Agile number three, yeah, quarter number one,
Yes, true.
you are
I
married
understand.
and all of that. Or
I
jealous,
think I was humble enough because I
yeah.
understood to say, okay, fine. Pulani, was it Pulani? Yeah, Puleng, unoke kwamisa next because
Ngaro
if
what like
what like often, there was Bomotsepe, and then
Yeah.
Motsepe Maranta. You knew that he always aimed for the sky,
Yeah.
So kgetlatla ka morao, and it
Yeah.
was fine, but because at least I'm in the list,
Uda.
and at least I'm happy with my
Yes.
marks. So I wasn't the smartest. I was just hardworking. To be honest, yeah, no, it didn't come natural.
And now thinking about that, right? Like how I think mostly you've said, Duty, we didn't have much information about courses that you choose on like after matric. What are you gonna do, right? And the program that you just alluded to, Ikateleng, which helped you,
It did.
and not everyone got an opportunity to be in that program, right? And but just for you, how did you, okay, from grade, I know grade 9, that's where you choose subjects. uh which subjects did you take, and why did you take them?
Okay. I think also background back in those days it was
Yes.
either with a maths and science. Then I said in Zenana, people were not
Oh.
understanding. No, my dad was not. My dad was not for that. Even my uncle.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the people that were more into books. My dad was not much, but my uncle was, you know, it's amazing because I remember it was me and my cousin were in the same grade.
Yeah.
It was like nothing. You gotta go do maths and that's it. Because I remember my cousin actually went and when we were selecting, because in Nakutri, like I selected team maths. Brother man went, and then that's his dad, selected the accounting. Well, my uncle found out while we are doing grade 10 or no, but Ufana Kamo was in the accounting. It was very much an issue in the house to say, why was I studying maths? So I think that's where the influence came from, but also from home. My dad's side of the family, they're all in the teaching field. Like my aunt, my uncle, who later after becoming a principal decided to say no, I'm gonna resign and go study and become a medical doctor. So you see, so we had that thing because I have an aunt who's in Kwakwa, very strict. Academics, like even in matric, my past question paper, they will come with a text from Kwakwa to say, hey, thanks, go and review, and these are question papers, the previous question papers, just go see if it's not something that you can study with. So I think it also helps when you have a family that also is pushing for education, and it doesn't matter what type of education. Yeah. My dad's side of family, they were core education. Yeah.
No, I think, yeah, like you said, having that background and people who have knowledge and maybe information in a way of this is how we're gonna help you to to build your name, to pass in life, it quite helps. And if I think again you had all this uh, cousins, aunties, and your dad as well as a contributing factor, but you had a choice to either listen
True.
or don't listen to the advices. And I guess you chose to listen to what they were saying because of you and but again, able to about it.
True.
And you managed to keep up and listen to what they were saying to you. And was there ever a time whereby you doubted your decisions in a way from point of secondary whereby you like amara don't you think
I think
I don't think you
I think not in high school.
yeah
In high school, remember, I also had that thing of, okay, we're going to choose subject and you go, oh, I want to become a medical doctor. And then you just do a quick research and say, okay, for you to become a medical doctor, you need your maths, you need your science, you need your biology. But back also in those days, that's how they were grouping them. You're either doing maths, and it was strictly pure maths,
yeah
or you are doing accounting and business. I think the other one was people that were doing geography and history. That was just, but that class normally have like 5 kids or something. So that was what was happening. It was either maths or your accounting and business or geography.
Yeah.
Literally, I remember 5. Actually, in the top of my head, I only remember 2 students from
Yeah.
that class. So that was that. I had that mindset of, okay, medical doctor, I need to do maths. And it actually, maths actually came easy for me to grasp. And I realized, oh, okay, no, I'm enjoying it. So high school, at no point did I have any regrets
Yeah.
going the maths way.
No, that's something because I think I don't know high school there's a lot that has to happen. I think from choosing even subjects. I for one I went for science and then science.
You'll find it.
I fought with science and mathematics. How old? I started finding my mathematical whatever. At grade 11.
Really?
My grade 10. I'll tell you now, I failed my attempt 2 at grade 10. From there, I was like,
This mess thing,
Yeah, well, I was like,
that's
should I
too
change
big
now?
for what you're doing
I'm
with
like,
maths.
And I started like, okay, I'm gonna continue with it, and choosing subjects, and then I ended up when I go to university, I do accounting,
I know. I also did accounting when I got to varsity first year.
economics.
And I was like, what is this? What is to balance a sheet?
Bruh.
Like, what is to credit and debit? I did it in first year and I was like, God damn.
I'm like,
When we sold dreams.
why did I, But I guess with you, you had it in mind. Okay, you want to become a medical doctor, and I think that's the field that they recommend you to do, and it teaches you more, like in terms of life sciences and all of that. And then later you transition to we'll touch on the IT part, but just selecting subjects. And I think maths, I don't know, I always tell maths teaches you, I would say, life in general because of critical thinking and all that. And when you get to enjoy it, they say maths is hard, but when you start enjoying practicing, I think it makes it easier. And looking towards that to someone who's watching as well and the younger self in that classroom, you choosing that they're about to select the subject, and watching this is going to draw that inspiration from them to select carefully in terms of subjects. What advice would you say this is what you can do in order for you to kind of like choose those subjects? I know, like you said, you had supporting structure of girl, You know,
Yeah.
and that generation, and looking back now with the current generation, what advice would you tell them to probably focus on when selecting subjects with the knowledge that you have now in terms of subjects and the career that you're in? I think you had transitioned from maths, you went to economics, which will touch on that. And yeah, just looking back, uh, just word of advice in terms of secondary choosing subjects and all that.
You know, I think it's a difficult one, especially with today's time and how things are structured. I think one thing that bothers me with the current curriculum, it bothers me a lot. And if there's any advice I'll give to somebody is
Yeah.
do not select a subject, because apparently now you can, just there's this basket of a lot of
Yeah.
subjects, and then you can build your own.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
build your own, and it bothers me a lot because sometimes with that building your own, sometimes the school is only focused on the matric 100%, which is very unfair to somebody that is going to be faced with life after matric.
Yeah.
I wish school can stop this thing of trying to push for 100% because it's really impacting the kids. I think it was last day, I think that the previous results that came out, one of the parents got hold of my sister and she said, my daughter has this subject. Can you advise the field
Yeah.
that she can go into? That, to start with, is wrong because from the word go, when you choose subject, you should at least have an idea of which field are you going into, right? And then we said, okay, what subject is she doing? It was tourism, maths, lit, what was also there? I think it was business. Like, they were, at some point when I looked at that, they were not talking to each other.
Yeah.
What is the goal with this? Schools these days, the goal is only matric 100%. It's not about the life after matric, and that bothers me a lot. We need to drop that thing of the highest performing school because that's with people's lives that we are gambling with. We need to give people a solid something that after matric they're able to face life with those things.
Yes.
I understand that not everybody is cut out to do pure maths.
Yeah.
And 100, right? You can do something with your maths lead, right?
Yes.
But let it be structured in a way that after matric you are able to face life with that thing. Not everybody is mathematically minded where they can solve issues, and it's fine, but let them make sense. When you go to varsity and you have those subjects, automatically you don't qualify, right? And it's really sad. So my advice would be, from the word go, have a picture in mind.
Yeah.
I think in varsity they made us read that seven habit of highly effective people, and one of the things there is that whatever that you start with the end goal. At least have that. You don't have to reach the end goal,
Yeah.
but at least have a picture of where we are going. You might try to get to Fanabale, you can go Dennisville side or this side,
Yes.
but the aim is to get to Fanabale. So in choosing subject, have at least, even if it's not your core career that you're gonna follow, but at least it's gonna lead you into that field.
Yeah.
Sure, I had the medicine field. However, when I fall down, I still fell
Something.
under BSc.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
which in a way it wasn't bad. I'm living with
Yeah.
with that, you know. So I think that will be my thing. Have an end goal, choose. Also, you obviously gonna choose according to your capabilities,
Strengths.
what you know that you're good in. You might be good in theory. Some of us struggle with biology because you had to, oh my God, read. You know,
Essay.
there are people that are actually excellent with that.
Yeah.
Then choose something that you know that it's, you know, it's gonna make it's academically, so it's gonna require you to study articles, it's gonna require you to do all of this, and you're gonna be comfortable with. So I feel like know yourself.
Yeah.
Know yourself, know who you are and what you're strong into, then choosing that. But let them make sense. This thing of teachers coming and saying, we're now to level 7, go LO, so you take LO, you take, it's not for you.
They have to communicate.
They have to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because right now, like you say, it's a different story. And ke freedom they say I have a right to choose for myself.
Sure, you
And
do.
you choose those subjects, you choose what you're choosing, and then but with me, like what you're saying now, you must have an end goal, right? I had the thing in mind to say I'm gonna aim for level 7 in every subject. Ha ke hlole at least ke fitla go 6.
Yeah, when somewhere.
O wela ene ha se hole, o wela fela haufinyana. And I think with that, that's I hope they'll really everyone. I think it doesn't apply to only the students. It also applies life in general. I apply that in my life to say I'm gonna aim to do this huge thing that I'm like I love that, and if I don't reach that, at least I get to get the scrums ke mo life. But yeah, thank you so much for that. And now you're moving up. You've selected that. Okay, Shab, maybe uh, medical doctor is not the way that I'm now going for, and you resorting to IT, information technology, in Northwest. Uh, is it something that you had applied for probably as a second choice or what? How did that choice
Come
happen?
about.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I did touch on it. If I want to say,
Mhm.
it wasn't. I wanted in medical
Yes.
field, and you know, I saw myself being a doctor, Dr. Njumaya, you know. But however, it didn't happen. So I remember, I don't remember what was my other choices, but I remember my first choice was I think it was psychology or something like that. But weirdly, the one that I chose, it had computer something in it. You know, I guess I hope it alone hope it, but I remember that because that's what when the academic guy from the Northwest looked at it, it was like, no, actually we do have IT straight that you can do. That one that you selected, we don't have it here in Fanabe. No, there's no way you're going to port. My dad is sitting
konje
here.
ula.
Ola, and it's like, why funa buye port? Ekutani kangaka vayile, you know? He wasn't big. He didn't know that I was actually trying to run away from him because I felt like my parents was too strict. It was, you know, I saw myself, oh, yo, guys, for the first time, I'm gonna go partying. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna have fun like other kids that are having fun. But only to find out that that's actually not me. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't my vibe. It wasn't the fact that my parents were strict. Because now looking back, you realize, like, actually, people that actually had a street parent, but they would matsoka feste or whatever, and then come back and say, "Ke tla shajwa ke khutla teng," you know.
What's booming?
Ke tla shajwa ke khutla teng. So I didn't take those steps. So meaning it was never me. So yes, so I got there. in Jan with my results and whatever, and we tried to check if we got space because we applied thanks to e-carteling and everything. And then that guy looked at like, oh, actually there's space. And he said, no, you could actually go to BMI, but BMI is already full. We only have a certain capacity. So the next best thing that you can do is IT. I don't know what is that. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was like, so you're gonna do IT? So that's the next thing. Assign a dipampiri tsaka. Here's your own, your welcome envelope. There's a thing, orientation here, starter, and
Kamalo.
sure, registration is in whatever days, whatever, and that was it. I got accepted just like that, got a residence. Yeah, that's how I got accepted. It was just, I came with my results, they looked at them. That guy, remember that guy? He was even white. Some people in man, that guy. It was called Building 25. I was like, oh, we're not Boshali, like literally speaking so it was like, oh, so are you qualified?
Yeah.
Adding my things there, like, oh, distinction here. Oh, okay, no, level 6 here. Oh, okay, I know. When are you qualify for IT? So that's where we will place you. And that's how I had to now immerse myself with IT. And what a journey it was. I'm not gonna lie. It was, not being exposed. It becomes a huge advantage when you get to varsity. A huge one.
That's where I was going now to say, just because you chose it like at that time, and now you started falling in love with it. How was that?
You think I fall in love with it?
You can't be where you are now if you don't like it. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe today we're gonna uncover something.
I think it's that thing of I had always maybe for as much as I can remember, I've always been that person that wanna finish what they started. Right? And it helps now in corporate in the career that I'm in because I finish what I started. If I've committed to a task, I have to see it through, right? So I got to varsity. You're doing IT. After that orientation and whatever, you get now faced with the reality. And it was the most difficult reality ever because I didn't know what okay, I knew what a computer was. I didn't have one.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Did not have a computer. Did not have any computer skill. What is a Word document? What is an Excel document? Where is a start button? How to type? How to do all of that? And now, and that in this today's world, it's a basic skill that everybody should have. I have a 12-year-old. I see him doing his assignment. He's in grade 5.
Yeah.
He types like this, right? I was in varsity.
And I had to.
No. Right? You should see his PowerPoint presentation. They have transitions and everything. None of that. So it's everything is new, right? So the computers new and whatever, but hey, there is those few courses there that we were forced to do. I think they were the NGN and whatever, just to familiarize you with a new way and a new life right now, right? I struggle, I'm not gonna lie to you. First year, we had a module that was introducing us to coding. The IT that we are doing, it's not like I'm saying, knowing how to operate computers, it's a basic skill. the BSc in information technology that we're doing, it's all about coding, developing, and right? We had a first subject is introducing us to coding. It was you had to code in studio code. Hey guys. Oh my god. And you see white kids, they're able to, because what they it was on paper now, because they're trying to show us to say what you input into a computer get translated into a language that a computer understands, right? Which is a studio code.
Yes.
So you write 2, it writes it at 0010.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What is that? Oh, shame. I struggled, and there's accounting now. There is business studies now. Now we are doing business. Like, I ran away from accounting all my life. Now I have to do business.
Found itself to
But now you get to understand why you had those. So I struggle. Honestly, a degree that I could have finished in 3 years, it took me 5 years to finish. I'm not even gonna come and say no. I did it in record time. No, I struggled. I struggled so much, but I had to.
You had to do it.
When I quit, what's gonna happen? You know, I really struggled. I struggled to fit in friends that I had when I left at home. Some of them we went to Porch with, but things were no longer, nice.
Yeah.
We were not even in the same race. So I made new friends that were not even in the IT field. So I was kind of now back to being alone. So now I had to figure things out on my own. The place was too. I stayed in. Oh, guys, I stayed in Faranani.
Hey.
If you are
Hey.
an of West person, you know what Faranani is. I'm from Kasine, but that was not it for me. I was not coping at all with that place. It was just too busy for me, and that was another thing. Like, you adjusting, I struggled to adjust. I'm not gonna lie. That affected also my academics, because there was just a lot. Remember, I was just this girl with the dad that was always present, everything. Kids, and everything was fine. So now I'm on my own. I had to figure out what to cook. Not that I didn't know how to, but it was just a lot of adjusting that I needed to do, and it affected me badly.
Yeah.
It really did. So,
in a big race like that.
that place was no. That place was really not nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't nice. I think I'm a very calm person. It wasn't resonating with who I am. So that's what I'm saying. I would call my dad 2 o'clock in the AM and say, there's just too much noise here. I'm unable to sleep. Please come fetch me. And he will drive. So imagine driving from Helbron to Fada Bay to fetch me in the AMs, and then Kitla Monday. I wasn't coping at all. Yes, I wasn't judging anybody by anti-batch and whatever, but for me it wasn't resonating with me.
I think when that happens, or in that moment, then you get to appreciate that you did not go Cape Town,
Right?
because of
Tell me about
when
it.
you had those episodes that you're having. He can just drive 1 hour. He's there for you.
That strictness that he had, it's now working out in my favor. I think, man, at some point I think I even went into some depression, because it was just a lot. Remember, you're now learning everything, and people are quick, because some people, they did do some form of IT at school, so they're able to catch up. Oh, and the worst thing was when we started IT, it was the lectures that were doing it. It was Africans lectures or something like that. So what will happen is that we had weeks. This week is English, next week is Afrikaans. So you'll have to have translators into your ears. There was just there was just a lot of things that were happening at once, and you're trying to resonate with and catch up, and I was really struggling to catch up with everything that was just happening. There was just a lot. There was just a lot that was happening. Friends, school. Now you must know computers. Assignment is due, test, semester test. I really struggled.
Boyfriend there, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, guys. Thank you, going. I had somebody in. Okay, I had somebody in grade 10 broke my heart dismally, you know. And now he started seeing. I think we used to have teacher hour, and it was like
What's up,
you know? Those things started making sense to you now, and you know, like, and then I went on that dating until I think then in matric, and then in matric I met somebody. It was from home, so relationship wise, first year, shame, it wasn't bad. He was trying. Shame. So, that part was not an issue. The only issue was obviously boys in rest partly because my dad was always around. So it was like, you know, and guys don't want to date girls like that. They automatically think spoil, right? And so no, relationship wise, first year. I think first year. First year, second year. I think first year. Because we did it, I think, matric and my first year. I think we broke up in my second year. Nah, you're not in so bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it was other things that I was dealing with.
Because I'm thinking like, you're going through all these things. No, Jolo thing, I'm all like, you're struggling.
Attention, at least the show,
that's stress.
Unasa edi stress to get work like nasa edi stress. No, he wasn't sure. And then only mutwa high so musile high, and then you are dealing with your life alone. So yeah.
Then cool, like the time was very difficult. Like I'm hearing it was not a good transition academically because of, I think, again, our background, not having skills that others are having. I can just imagine, even with us, when we go to varsity, we'll have kids who have done, let's say, C# in their secondary school.
Yep, that was
and
exactly us.
we get there, no basics, and then we're supposed to do this assignment. This one does it now in the class and then finishes it. But now you have to go and upskill yourself. You have to go and do extra time with that. And the time that you are putting, or the effort that you're putting in, at least trying to bridge that gap, your other, they are gone. And they are way far ahead of you. And now I guess we are trying our all means to do the best. We are hard workers, like you were saying. And now you finally get to the age you were at the course. I think you are someone who, you're saying so struggling to struggle, and you've done exactly that.
I did. I had to. Remember, also, I'm a firstborn. You know, I'm a firstborn, and you are failing, Gambo. Kamo, I think even NEFSAS I didn't get full NEFSAS because again Papa was working for the Department of Education, so they were just subsidizing him a bit, right? So I remember I had to keep going, and I had to high. Always you're gonna quit and do what? I did not have that. I don't think I had that luxury. So finally finished my first year, then did my second year. Obviously, still thing you still drop some modules, pass some modules the same way, right? And then I think now I was it academic? No, it was historically. I'm now in my third year, but academically now you are doing your second year, and then you fail some, and then that's my dad got mad. I was like, no, you're failing, wasting money, what. But it was also at that time where he's changing. He's no longer the best friend that I knew. He's no longer my dad. You can see patterns.
Yeah.
So I remember there was a time also, I think the year before then now I'm coming back now for the third historical year to finish obviously some of the modules that I dropped. I don't get residence, right? When I don't get rest, he's now dropping me now to Fanabel Boscolo. And in Elamotuanwa very early in the morning, because sometimes you might find that day he needs to actually be in Bloemfontein for whatever work thing that is required. So I would actually now be dropped at school 5 a.m., 4 a.m. Sometimes I would sleep in the bathrooms because I have nowhere to go. I have no friends. Jeez. And I'm trying to sort out this rest thing. And when I realized that, I think it happened for the first, like that February thing, because I'm trying to find out, okay, but I need to get rest. I need to finish, because already can register, and then it doesn't happen. Yeah. And then I go to I think it was the academic, the PSC academic office, to say, guys, this is impacting me. I'm struggling. I didn't get rest, or I'm not getting rest, or I'm not getting even help from the rest people. Is there anybody that can help me? And I meet this lady. I call her Danny. She says, I have a back room in my house if you don't mind. And I think the rent was like 500. And I'm like, okay, sure. I'll tell my dad will come. Weekend we go, we get lost. I don't remember. She drove me to her house. I saw the room. I was like, but then I started now. Eventually, I get there. I started staying there. She was one of the dean's secretary. Okay. Her husband was one of my lecturers. Weird enough, right? I stay in the back room because why? I need to finish this thing that I started. So I know that was in my second year. So I stay with them and I finish. Come December, my dad snaps. And when he snaps, things goes right? And it goes like, you're not going back to school. I can't be like, you keep failing and whatever. And I don't take him seriously. Come January, I'm getting calls from my aunt. They're like, oh, Vang, I hear what I will. And I was like, oh, so it's confirmed. Yeah. I wasn't aware of that. I'm like, sweet. I text the lady to say, hi, Danny, maybe you should give away the room. There's a possibility that I'm not coming back this year. And then she says, why? You are not done. And I say, my dad is having episodes. I can't make sense of them. And then she goes like, there's no way you're not coming back. She says, there are odd jobs here in varsity, computer lab, reading lab. Let me speak to somebody. Their application are open. Few hours later, she sent me an application. Apply. I apply. I get the job. Jan, I leave. I'm not registered. I'm not registered. I have no plan of what I'm gonna do. Remember, nurses only pay what? After registration.
Yes.
My dad has to pay registration. My dad is saying what?
Oh, no more.
Oh no, boy. I was like, okay, I got the job. Let me go. Packed my suitcase, left. That was the first time I used the taxis. Because my dad used to drive me around everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And I mean everywhere, because there was a time where during school holidays in the previous year, I wouldn't want to come home. Because 25 rand data. I got odd jobs. Like I used to work over gaming during school holidays, just so that I can, have
Something, yeah.
I can have something young.
Yeah.
So he used to even drive me to those interviews, It's about board game store. I used to work go Trerifa during holidays when things were still nice. And then now, I use a text, I leave. On my way he calls and it goes like, oh, so uyazokusebenzisa amateksi namhlanje, and I'm like, not today. I leave and I get the job. I start working. I'm not studying. I work, go, computer lab, printing people, documents, assignments, go reading lab. But I wasn't studying because I'm not registered. And first semester passes, and my dad eventually, I think around maybe March, he eventually left for work and never came back. So now my mom is also now struggling on the side with my siblings. So the little that I was getting from that, I need to make sure that I sustain myself and help mama where I can. So now comes June, she tries for maintenance and whatever. We get called to say this two, me and my sister, they are over 18. You can apply for them. I was like, but school was like, no, they must come themselves. I'm like, sharp. And then they set up a date. While I was busy going to computer lab and reading, a friend of mine comes and says, did you see this bursary? There's a bursary open. It was advertised in our student portal.
Yes.
I'm like, no, I didn't see it. I read through it same day. I applied. I remember you had to attach your letter, your cover letter. Oh, I went in on that cover letter. I wish I had a copy of it somewhere.
Yeah.
I went in on that cover letter. I poured my heart out because I had no other way, right? It was so bad that I think I had ulcers that I was struggling with. I would go to the doctor and the doctor was like, you're no longer on the medical aid. Remember, I was that girl that things were okay. I was on the medical aid. I was able to go brush my teeth. I was able, things were fine. So now you get there and like to the doctor. The doctors were like, unfortunately, you're no longer on the medical aid. The last time I spoke to my dad was when I left with that taxi, and he said, "How's I school?" That was that. And I was like, oh, okay. Sharpo. Then we got called for the maintenance thing. My dad dashes. Like he was a different man. I think that gave me also the thing of moving on because I realized that that's not my dad. And I was like, okay, fine. This chapter is closed. I'm no longer daddy's girl. No, I'm no longer my dad's girl because that one is no longer my dad. I leave people that were here in the court. I came because there's a computer lab. And when we went to the court, I had to go back to work. ke sebeletsa eng a ke tsebe ko ne se ke sebeletsa bogoto. What is the plan with my academic at that point? I had no idea. I know that the first 6 months again now, I'm not doing anything. I remember somebody found me weightless. He's one of my husband's best friends, but then we were just students. He found me on computer lab reading The Secret, the book.
Oh, the book.
And he's like, yeah, if I were you, I would practice as Java. Because obviously Java is negative, you know. But he didn't understand. Oh, hey, girl is not even. Girl will go. She's not even registered, you know.
Yeah.
So I think before June I went to 25 for some weird reasons. I quit more. I was asking about registering for second semester. How much am I gonna I'm gonna need? And that lady's like, we are currently open for late registration. You can just pay 1,000 rand today. You'll be registered for 1,000 rand. I had some outstanding fees in Yana plus 8,000 and about for registration. I take out that 1,000 immediately. I register. Now I'm registered for what? For second semester. So now, at least now I'm in at Koskolong. I can continue with whatever that is still left up. Right? So we come to court. My dad. I leave. I have to go back to Fanabel. On my way, I get a lift here. In Fanabel. I still remember in a phone mama quote. I think we went to church with her. I think she's late now.
Yeah,
I think she's late. Yeah. Ba ne ba misa dukte. Ba mfa lift ba go ya ka ikere ka Fanabel ba go kena go tlosia Fanabel.
Yeah.
In the car, remember what? I was crying just few minutes ago because my dad was just court. You know?
Yes.
In the car, I get a call. It's the bursary that I applied for, same day. And they go like, we have shortlisted you for the interview. Are you available? No. When? I was like, I am very much available. See you there sharp. Right? For me, that call said to me, "Utlova sharp, you see where you just came from.
Yeah.
This is a confirmation now. It's gonna be fine, right? I leave. Now I have to go where? To the interview. Anna, where did I apply for? I get it. I saw it. I look at it, Rustenburg. I'm like, oh, Mudim, where is Rustenburg? Do you want to help? What? I don't even know where Rustenburg. I start searching, how to get to Rustenburg, via what? Like, things just keep making sense. Somebody's like, no, it's better if you're from Pretoria, straight go there and whatever. I remember when I went for the interview, I was even writing my semester test that day, and got 4 or 5, right? Somebody said it's better if in Pretoria. I'm like, Pretoria? Do I know anybody in Pretoria? I remember, okay, my cousin. I have a cousin that was studying, I think he was working at that time in Pretoria. I called him and said, I need your help. This and this is like wars. We'll figure out how to fix up. After that semester test, the lecture that I was staying in his house drives me quickly, dropped me off because I also explained the situation to them. Fitla for nothing, it's late, Pretoria's late. I don't even know where to go. It will see you now, 7 o'clock. My cousin, where should I get home? No, Towako Blue, what it was some club. I don't even know. Now you're in the taxi, you're vulnerable. I mean, no, Towa at the club now. But God kept, for me, God kept sending angels, because there's a guy in a taxi. I am a Linambo and said, yeah, this is the club he's talking about. Literally, I came in a holy faith until my cousin came in. I don't even know the guy, but for me, that was an angel that day. He came in the car with my cousin Okobile Loto. And it's like, yeah, I'm taking so I'm actually on leave. I can take you to Rustenburg tomorrow. And I'm like, you understand?
uNkulunkulu omuhle njalo.
So we get to Rosenberg, get the interview and whatever, things go well. And then things at home we just kept getting bad and bad and bad. And then eventually I get a call and they said, congratulations, you got the bursary. The bursary gives you what? Pays for your academic, your rest, give you a medical aid.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Bazari.
That's the thing. When God restores, God really. When university I had those final years,
Yeah.
I had a discovery medical aid.
Oh.
Yes. I got every beginning of the year, I get an odd 20, 30 something thousand for, just, and then you get your book allowance monthly, you get your, the rest, they had a budget to say, okay, for rest, we give you 23,000 per year.
Yeah.
No, per semester. If you went when I go Santen of a rest and you want more than 23, then you're gonna have to motivate. None of you like I make you like 500. Right?
Hey, man.
So that money, when it comes in, is the money that my sister was struggling. I took my sister to boarding school with that because of the whole thing that was happening at home, I wanted to take her out of that environment. So in a boarding school. And then I'll pay my rest. I know I get my monthly stipend. So that's how then things now got to me finishing. Because remember that 6 months since I get 1,000
Yes.
right? So now I have an outstanding. Come January, I'm like, I have a letter, but I have an outstanding. Those people are very strict.
Yeah.
The bursary was for that academic year, which is now the following year. Oh my God, I read that letter, I think 100 times. When I got there to register, I was like, no, I have a bursary. That lady checked and she's like, but you have an outstanding. Kare. At the bottom, sentence about iri and other fees. All I wanted, guys, it was a stamp and then to register. She looked at it and read other fees and then she stamped and then that was it with my financial issues.
But that's so cool.
So yes, yeah, man, I think varsity for me, it was a character molding thing because you go wish even personally now, but I'm grateful. I think if my dad was still around, I could have quitted school and say, "Yeah, I ho tata." It's difficult. But then he wasn't there. High and be what give him to my mom. She's already going through a lot. So it wasn't gonna happen. Yeah. It wasn't
Just as
next
and then now I think varsity now that's where Facebook was a good thing and whereby now like you say you had to pay fees to wanna go high. Now you're assuming these responsibilities and you have to be the older person that you are, the firstborn,
you had
to
no
carry
choice.
the ones that are coming behind you.
And also parents tend to see us as well. I think parents have this thing of when you are a firstborn, they automatically the minute hunale a second born afitla, it automatically makes you grow no matter what age you are. And I don't vibe with it that much because I was also still a child. Like I was, because I think it happened. I think also with my daughter, where I think when she was 2, my sister had a daughter, and now they will refer to her into oh, I'm like, ah, guys. Right? Just because now there's a new kid, it does not now make you grown up. And parents tend to do that. My mom saw me as a grown up, and she would now confide in me. Yeah. Right? And I saw and heard things that I shouldn't have.
From that age, yes.
And I took responsibility that was not mine. Because I remember I had a fallout with my cousin. I think it was 2 years or a year ago, and things have not been well since then. And the fallout was exactly about that. That he came to me and said, how is Bongani maybe asking for this Ukon? And that actually did not sit right to me to say, but this person has parents, both living parents. You guys are bestowing on me responsibilities that are not mine, and it's really not fair. I, you know what I do for my mom and my siblings here? I love it, but I'm at the, I think it's also God that made me realize to say, but you have to sometimes say no. Because you are pouring into people and nobody's pouring on you. So yeah, it's been a learning, I don't know, a learning for me. I had nobody pouring in me. I had to pour onto myself. I had to be my own big sister. I had to be my everything. I remember I remember when I had to go. Eventually I passed the interview, right? And then because it was in the mining industry, where I was getting the bursary from, they wanted me to do medicals before I signed the contract. When I finally said, they said, no, we are giving you the bursary. For me to go sign the contract, I had to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and also it's still in Rustenburg, which is far, right? And my cousin now totally 14, obviously. And I had to go there, and now I'm finding ways to say, how do I get there without using taxis? I'm like, okay, the only logical thing to do is to get somebody who has a car and ke ba kope ba nkise ke ba tshele petrol, right? But that's gonna require what? Money. I go to my aunt, she was fine, right? Financially, and I said, ke kopa o nkadime, right? I got this bursary. January is gonna pay. It's December. I just need to go do my medicals, but I need money. You know, she said what? When your dad left, your mom was struggling. So since he came 1,000, I said, please.
What are you saying?
I'm telling you, it is those things that they develop you. And I'm like, okay, no, Kyalebo. When I got the bursary in Jan, she was the first person I said,
Okay. Babon.
"Kiye tjhelete ya hao, ka ho mama, don't depend anybody anymore." So it's one of those. And yeah, man, you realize that as much as we had that close family, but they were there because of my dad. Because people just, once my dad left, people left.
Jesus. You get to be emotional.
Askies.
Be
It
emotional.
wasn't my intention, but that's my story.
That's the story, right?
Yeah, so I got the bursary, managed to finish my studies, not in record time. I'm not proud, but I did finish. I did finish, And then luckily then, because of that bursary, it was consuming us into now the corporate for the graduate program. So that's how now I got my first job, because
Yes.
the minute I graduated,
You get a job.
I got a job and I started with the graduate program. It wasn't the best of the best, but hey, I was in. I think that's what everybody's fighting for
Actually,
now, to say if I
employment.
can just get in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I now got my first job. It was through that bursary that came when I really, 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 and gonna go remember I feel like so my academics were not roses. My academics were not the nicest to go and brag on, but I trusted God, and He came through for me. But also, guys, I'm a hard worker. I wasn't that bad. I wasn't that bad. I'm a very hardworking somebody. That guy no, when I just hardworking. Shame he was spot on.
Yeah.
If he was still alive, I would say, you know what, I know shame, you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, man, that's like I say now, emotional because of what you've went through. And again, for me, what inspires me most is from a girl child, like women out there, and you, they literally threw you in the deep end, and you managed to come out of that. I think uh, we we won't touch much on timer and all of that, because of I think that's when for you that was a turning point for you into the woman that you are right now. And I can imagine what, like how disappointed you were in him. And right now you're married, and because sometimes those memories and experiences kind of like makes you, I would say, hate men. And for you now being where you are with your husband, uh, when he came into your life, I think we have that. I'm full, and I just wanted to just maybe not much. I know. Uh, when did you meet him? And again, you just measured with your first job and all of that. When did he come into the picture?
Okay. He came in varsity, right?
Okay, now Olewa.
No,
Oh.
absolutely not. So I think he came. So obviously with the whole death thing, oh guys, then Mojolo Lona one.
Hey.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm bad,
Yeah.
you know? So eventually I decided break Mojolo, let me heal. Yeah, because I was going through the most, and at that time I felt like now every man that was coming into my life was just now trying to test me, because there is no way that I am going through this and this boys around that doing this. So I just took some time and now focused on. I think I just focus on now trying to finish my degree, and I think I got to now learn me again, reintroduce myself, because now there were now new aspects that were happening, because now every holidays I had to go be in the northwest. We will do work.
Yeah.
It made me meet new people, make new friends. We stayed at the lodge there. It was I think it was part of also my healing, because it was nice, man. And then I we had money, and now how we live for work, it's like so I think then that's when Mujolo stopped, because now I was this busy. Like, I'd go to the grades, I'm in the Rustenburg, I'm with my friend, I'm making new friends, I'm making new connections. We're just hanging and having fun. And now, but also working, also, and exploring now this new thing now, because it was a mining industry. Now you are actually learning other people to say, oh, there's mining. Like, I think I met such powerful ladies there, because I had friends that were doing mining, they were engineering and mining. I had friends that were doing chemistry. I had friends that were doing process engineering, like things that I was not even aware they exist. Now I'm meeting this powerful woman, and now they're my friends. And it kind of gave me a new spark. So that's what happened. So somewhere, I think it was just when I was about to finish, my husband, I met, yes, in varsity. We just became friends.
Okay.
Right? We were friends. We were okay friends. And we were doing, I think we got close when we were doing, what is it? We know when you facilitate, once you are done with a module.
Yes.
Like, anywhere you can get a cash,
As long as
so that's when we met, because we were facilitator for some module together.
Okay.
And then that's when we got a bit close. We had some classes together, but he was a bit senior than me.
Okay.
So he left to corporate.
Okay.
And I remained at school because I was still finishing up. So we met at varsity, but it's a gala sebenza. Things started happening. I was like, oh no, why not?
Let me listen.
Okay, sharp, even though I said it. I know, but shame, man. He was a good friend, because I remember before we even dated, when he started his graduate program, it was with a Standard Bank, and they normally take them to India for the graduate program.
Okay.
So he was in India, and we would be texting. I was like, oh no, bring me something, and it actually brought me this beautiful scarf. So we're like, oh no, but you know what? You're not bad. You might be a yellow bird, but because obviously we are eating tall and dark, and but no shame. Yeah, so that's how we met, and we started dating, and yeah, we've been married. We are 10 years.
10 years. Next year 10.
So we are 9 years.
And kids, how many kids?
We have two.
Two. Oh man.
We have two.
He was patient. Like being friend zoned. That's friend zoning. You friend zoned the
and then he acts like, no, but I didn't like you like that.
I boo. My brother.
Okay, no, it's fine. So so he came just when things were falling in place, but also not that, but I was also intentional with myself at that time. I was because
and then now I think we are, with our experiences, things that we go through and learn, and with the whole journey as well, that I want to have I want to write a different book for myself into family and everything, right? I can imagine how the book that you're writing right now, your sisters and your siblings, in order for them to just try and bridge that gap, to give them that. And then now, cool, you're having this job, right? And you're trying by all means also support making their decisions. You're making it now. You are playing that role of Facebook.
Yes.
And you're getting this job, a salary that you never, I won't say you never got used to, because you did all the side hustles, but and
it's guaranteed now.
It's guaranteed. And you are in this space. And remember, from someone who anasakata IT. So now one will ask, Ore, you did IT, mining, no one knows what's happening,
True.
right?
True.
Like, how is it like? What do you do now at your job? What are you in charge of? What are you doing as we can even bridge it to where we are right now as a principal? Let me get it right.
Yes, Principal SAP
What do you do
Consultant.
now?
Yeah. Okay, so can I think
Yeah.
I have something. Can I have tissue? I think my lips
Kara.
on my back. I'm feeling a bit weird.
So that's a mamuka in there. Oh.
Yo, that's a lot.
It's always nice. We're not in a rush. We are uncovering a good story with good audience. First time single audience in Tlegangag. Oh, Nkosi yami.
Okay, thank you. So, what am I doing, or what did I do then?
Yeah.
I get a bursary. Okay, I get my first job as a graduate program go mining industry.
Mm.
Remember, I'm also now shocked to say, okay, fine. I know now I have a BSc in information technology. Get why it's a more, but then you start recover, you start discovering a lot of things that can be done. We're actually always an umbrella when it comes to the IT industry.
Yeah.
So when I started doing the graduate program, you will be made to you know what they do. They will make you jump here, jump there, and whatever.
Rotation.
Familiarize yourself with the different fields that they do have. So what we had with the one that I got to explore, there was one. It was just development. You will develop systems that they can utilize in the mining and for whatever what they wanna do.
Yeah.
We had another one where it was for purposes of payroll and HR. We need to know that you came to work, right? So that we can what? We can pay you. So we were supporting that system so that you're able to clock in work and clock out, and those readings we send them to the payroll so that you get paid at the end of the month, right? And then the other one was done now SAP.
Yeah.
So what the mining industry was using SAP for, SAP is a huge.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah,
what is SAP?
is a huge. So SAP is, I would say somebody just one day decided to develop this system and then kept on growing the system. Now companies are using this system to run their business. So SAP has modules inside it, right? So we had plant and maintenance that was in the mining industry. So whether ulumka lebone likepise and whatever, it tracks that, it records that you're clocking your materials, the explosive, how many were used, who signed them out, where were they used, the surveyors, the mapping that they did, everything was done in SAP when it comes to managing the plant, right? And then we have your finance now and HR. So people that were getting employed, remember SAP has a modules, right? So people that were getting employed, we make use of SAP to record your personal data is in SAP, your address is captured in SAP, your payroll is in SAP. So when the pay run runs for you to get paid, the runs are done in SAP. That's how. If SAP is down, you're not getting paid.
Hey.
Especially if
Actually.
your run is
Yeah.
in SAP, right? So the hiring and firing is done on that one. And what else did we had? We have BW, which runs the reporting.
Okay.
Right, reporting is done. That we all have this database, so you're able to extract the information that you need, and then it does reporting for you. So whoever needs report is done that. So that's what we're doing. So I think when I got to that department, there was a lady that used to do what I did, who just got promoted. So they did not have anybody, and then that's how I started there. So what I would do, even in that field, there's also SAP has, we have functional, we have technical. So I was in the technical space. So I started as an authorization. It was, so what authorization does is, with all of these modules, you're gonna need access to function, right? So when you need access to function, then that's where I come in. I build, design, and grant you access to that. However, and also governance. However, you must make sure that no Dido is no Dido. Key project manager. They can only access, remember it's a big web. They can only access project manager. We cannot have no Dido running the payroll. Only qualified payroll runners will have access to kickstarting, how you must get paid and how much you must get paid, your job offers, your everything. So that's what I do. So we are more on top, whereby now we develop and design access to the entire bank. Because right now, obviously, it was in the mining. It was mining.
Yes.
So I think I've worked for mining. I went from Lonmin to Anglo, and I think 2 years ago I joined the bank.
Yes.
Also, it's a bit different because the bank does not have like your plant and maintenance and your material management. However, we still have a payroll. We still, it's in finance, so we supporting finance. So even with that, I have to make sure governance is in place, where people are not seeing or touching other people's things, even though we are exposed to a lot of things.
Hey.
But we try to make sure that governance, so we are hugely audited. We go through a very intense audit on to say, this person is this person, they shouldn't have this person can do this, they shouldn't have this person, so that's what we do. We make sure that with the running of the bank, because another module that we currently have, we have like with the bank, there is loans part, which the Durban one, whereby then from your evaluation to you're selling a property. When you're selling a property, somebody needs to be told to come and evaluate that property. It's kickstart on SAP. The evaluator go have access, and they're able to capture, and then it goes there. So they need to also have access to evaluate those property and capture those things and sell it. All those Santen properties that I get sold, they're sold from that. So we manage that with the bank, because the minute it's wrong, a lot of loans. Like sometimes you get pulled into a meeting where they are trying to convert a loan that was $2.3 billion, and now it has to be converted in rands, and now they don't have access to revert that whatever. And we're sitting there like, okay, fine, let me see what I can do. So it gets that we deal with data, and a very sensitive data. Yes, more especially in the field that I am, which is authorization. It's all about governance, because remember, in the bank, and the current bank I'm in, even payroll and HR, it's in SAP. So when you get that letter of employment and get to sign on that, sign whatever it's happening in SAP, that job getting. So we have to make sure that you have access, you are able to get your offer, you are able to sign it. Once you sign it, it goes and propose an email for you to say, okay, fine, you're gonna be no dot. You get what I'm saying? So we do all of those. We develop that to say, okay, fine, propose an email, propose a company number for you. It captures and then it goes and creates your profile, enter your details. So you are married, you're not married, 2 kids. So this is how much your salary will be.
That's
Get your banking details, whatever. So yeah,
That's all that thing that you. When we see it from the other side, like, "Ay, why aren't one single and sing at the J that I must feel, I must do what?" Okay, the bad part that even now, I'm still having my emails. They usually give me Donald.nodi. I'm like, why?
Why?
But why?
But also, again, there's that preferred name that you can use. You're able to because I'm saying we developed a program that goes and run and check on is there another no Dido in the company, right? And then if there is no Dido Bongani, obviously it's gonna propose Donald. But also sometimes it also check. I get a lot of happy. The Donald the first name. Eh. So
I can see why I let it.
yeah.
Go ID. They always say that.
Yeah.
Man, go ID chief, you are Donald.
Yeah, Donald
I'm
is
like,
not Bongani. So yes, but that's basically
That's
what
what
we
you
do.
do.
You coming in as an employee, your employee record, we do all of that.
And now you're a principal of that.
Now I'm a principal of that. I think also it's it's one of those things of I think when I left, when I finally left my first job, I think I was there for 6 years.
Yeah.
It was when that mine was just about to close, and I was like, I'm jumping. But also, I was married at the time, and now Northwest was not making sense anymore. My husband was in Sandton, I was traveling to Sandton into that other side of Hardis every day. He was not enjoying it that much. So I was like, okay, I'm trying to find a job this side now, move to Joburg. So I ended up making a decision to say, yeah, fine, I'm leaving. I'll find something. Yeah, no, I think I stayed for a year unemployed. It was it wasn't the prettiest, and it wasn't nice.
Selemu.
Yeah,
Without
unemployed.
Chankura.
Luckily, because the mine was closing, we got some, you
A
know,
heavy
so I was able to because when I finally got my first job, the first thing that I did, I bought a small car, but then I invested into a property.
Yeah.
So I was able at least to pay that property for that year. So it wasn't bad. If you are still able to pay a bond, which was a 3 bedroom, so it wasn't bad. So yes, I stayed a year unemployed, and eventually I got something in Anglo. And that thing was not in SAP. And I think at the time I was like, maybe I should actually leave SAP. So it wasn't in SAP, but it was still in IT.
Okay.
So I was a system analyst for some of the application that, it made me grow. I think also it helped character development, man. Because I think within a year being there, I got promoted into a team lead. But they because those were mining. Remember the first mining?
Yeah.
It was in the corporate office. So you would do normal hours, 6 to 3 o'clock, and leave. That one of the application we were supporting 24/7. You would get a call at 3 a.m. to say, there's a truck that is at the way bridge, is trying to leave the plant, but it's not opening. Because for it to open, there has to be a certificate that is issued. It has to be weighed. The weight bridge is not working. So we used to also do that. Apart from SAP, I used to support um, I used to support systems that literally a truck has to, when it goes in empty, it sits on top of that truck, it gets weighed. You say, okay, fine, this
Yeah,
truck,
weight.
it's weighing 20, so that when it comes out, we are subtracting that 20 so that we know how much it's heavy. So that high fit mo yang thing, the platinum.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still that much? What happened with what it had? So that's how we govern what the trucks have, and so that there's no stealing on the way, because we were able to also subtract things like dust, because we understand there's wind and whatever.
Yes.
We will subtract dust, we'll subtract things like that, but it has to make sense to say this truck left Limpopo with so much contact, but now when it gets to a refinery where now the platinum needed to be cleaned, it's a way boga. So we dealt with very sensitive things. We wouldn't
Hey, but
sleep. So that's also IT in the mining industry. What it also, there's a lot that you can do. There's
sure.
really a lot with IT. Like I'm saying right now, it's in SAP, but also when I was in Anglo, I was doing something that is completely outside SAP. I was supporting, even when the platinum is now refined and it's at Seychelles and it needs to now go to the out of the country, they use shipment. It will not leave that shipment without a certificate of the refined thing. Find out that the system is not working. So
Hey,
you will have to
let me ask you the dust.
tremendous holiday dust, so that's I think that's things that education also affords you
Yeah.
to. It exposes you a lot.
Mm.
And IT is not black and white, because I have my husband that also studied IT.
Okay.
He's in a complete different field.
Different.
He's a developer. He's coding. Neither after I struggled, what I struggled, I said, Umbono umbulai. Who to hold now, you must program a microwave and make sure that microwaves work.
Was bad.
Okay, yeah, I think that was my last assignment where I decided to say I'm done with this, because the microwave was not stopping; it was running forever. So I was like, so I was like,
My gravy was
this is not for me. But however, for my
Yeah.
husband, it's one of the things that he
That
loves
he
and
loves,
enjoys
right?
developing. So there's a lot. There's cybersecurity. There's a lot that you can do. There's analysis where you just analyze data, and so I think when you actually do have your your degree in IT, I think some these days they even call it computer science. It's really, I have people that we studied with, and they're all over the world. I have a friend in multi choice, and she's doing data mining, or data handling. I have friends that are doing programming. I have friends that are analysts, and they just interacting between business and the technical people, so that they can, so there's a lot that you can do with just that one degree.
Jeez.
And I think that's another thing. If you choose a degree that is not gonna just take you to one place.
No, man. I think everyone had an advice as well, and I think one of the questions when I went live, gotta give out the questions, but who important question but if interactive, and one of the ones that stood out is like again with your story and what you've went through, how uh, as a woman, how have you managed? I think now it's towards how have you managed to keep afloat in terms of this career that you are with and the family side of things as a mother of two and a husband, the balance between the family and still doing what you're doing in your work and getting all these promotions that I'm really that you're getting?
I think at the end of the day, men or women, we are all individuals. We start there. We are all human beings,
Yeah.
and all human beings deserve the good and the wonderful that life has to offer. So you first have to do things for yourself before you can even do it for your kids or your husband or anybody else, right? And how I have managed, I think, to navigate and stay afloat with everything is that you meet people that gonna, you know, make you tough. My first job, there was a lady that was one of our administrator, and she saw me and thought I was there to take her job. She was the meanest person I've ever met. She would ask me things like, did you have any work done today, or you're just here to be pretty? Right? So it's those things. You're gonna meet the ugliest and the most gruesome people that, and sometimes you with hoping that you will relate woman to woman,
Yeah.
but they don't offer you that. So you gotta be there for yourself and know why you're doing this and who are you doing this for. I had always been doing this for me and my siblings and my mom and my mom. Like every time I wanted to give up, I thought, oh, that woman had a heartbreak. Get no Ada.
Eesh.
For me, it was always that thing to say, I don't want to add in her
Much,
misery,
yes, yeah.
right? There was a time I had severe depression and I thought, oh, maybe I should just end it and kill myself. The thought was always, but then Mama Otlore, like it was always, yo, I'm adding. Do you see how she is now? She has changed. She's no longer that bright. Am I gonna add on that? And I said, absolutely not. So I think being, I also I'm a strong believer. I remember that thing of I didn't want to go to church because I was forced to church all along, but it molded me because at some point I had nobody but God.
Yeah.
At no point I had nobody to cry to. I had no friends or whatever. I only had God. So that grounded me. And honestly, I look back and I say, you know what, she was so mean, but it was character development because I'm not right now. There are ladies that comes up, and it's not even just ladies. Like there's a guy that I'm mentoring now, and it makes me so happy to say like, you know what, I'm able to pour irrespective of the gender. It has nothing to do with you are a woman, you are a man. We all deserve the best in life and the good that life has to offer. So I think that's it. I think I'm grounded by God, top of everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have a husband that is not cultural and whatever, so he understands to say, you are your own person, I'm my own person. Yes, we are together, we have this family, we have these kids. And then even at work, you get people that still gonna undermine you as a woman. However, you shouldn't just be a pretty face.
Yeah, I'm thinking with that as well because of in your industry, I think it's mostly dominated by men in
Yeah.
IT, and
Yes, in the mine, I was the only female in our
we are both.
office. Yeah, you get the stares. I remember that when I started, uh, when I came in with the graduate program, there was a lady before me, but she was not of my race. She was of a different race. I don't know. People tend to warm up, and they sometimes feel like people of a certain race they deserve them more than we do.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember the first day I went, the guys quickly regrouped and went outside. And I had forgotten something in the car, so I went to find them talking to say, yeah, no, they're busy giving these kids, and now these kids are coming, they're gonna take our jobs and whatever. It was so disappointing to me because those were black brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, it's a lot. I know right now the unemployment and whatever, but there's a lot. Everybody deserves a fair chance. You should not
Yes.
be threatened by somebody coming in to a point that they would restrict certain things to you, not to give it to you. But how would I know? But that other lady, unafuye, what. But when now you are not afforded the same opportunities, why? I don't know. We tend to also, and this is also now race. We tend to pull each other as black people down, and just giving somebody information is not gonna do any harm, right?
Yeah.
But we sometimes very stingy with that because yeah, I keep at why is that?
There- There's a saying that everyone wants you to do good, but
But
not
not
more.
better than them. True.
Ke tlo e kwala moo. Ha ke batle go tswela pele.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Jesus, to be emotional, no, and I'm easing up a bit. That's
Okay.
good. And one thing again, the journey has been so inspiring, and from where you were, I think when a young girl child, I keep on saying this because of your journey really motivates not only us but most importantly, I can think about the girl who's gonna listen to you. I'm like, wow, Lynn myself, not knowing that much, I'm just touched by your journey. And Raleboog, for that you never gave up.
True.
I think I spoke to your sister when I was still driving here. Ke re ke lo interview ngwana ko gae Togo. Spoke to Togo here. Ke re batla gore nko ye. I haven't like listened to the VN. I'll make you listen to it after. And he's like, yo, and Jwala hasn't to tsa gage. O la re bjalo. Ah, o la re bjalo, hasn't to tsa gage. I can no touch sorry. But o tsebe ga tseba hore. So outside work, family, and all of that. What you said to me you came here for book review. What do you enjoy doing in summer?
Um, Vangile outside work and then parent. I actually had a business that is kind of on pause now because I realized, hey, you are breaking your back, and that's another thing. I think I had developed this work ethics that I had to be, in control. So I had a business running for the past 9 years. That was it was going well. It was your event coordination and whatever. I had planned, but last year I got a bit sick. But when it demanded me to leave hospital and have to do that, I realized no, it's not working out for me. But those are the things. I was running my business, and because it really made me very happy to be planning events. I love that. I think I'm a creative. I'm a very creative. So having to see something that you put on paper come live, it was something that was making me very happy. So I'm that. I run my business. I go to church. I'm still call Jesus and Christ a lot because I think like it has grounded me a lot. There's been times where I could have easily given up, but I kept remembering, then what, but God and everything else got on me. Apart that, I'm just trying to navigate life and living in Joburg, and so I would have things like that lady, a group of strange, wonderful women, strangers,
Yeah.
who are women in that different field, where we choose a book every month and we just meet and review that book. It's been good for my mental health and
Exactly.
to socialize. You're gonna have to find a bit of things there that just makes you happy. I used to do CrossFit, stop at some point.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go back into gymming because that also was helping me.
Yeah.
I would be up at 5 o'clock and go to the gym and be back, so that when you actually now also go to the office, you are somehow a happy person, because
Yeah.
guys, your people are not happy. So yes, but
Yeah.
apart that, I'm just my mom's daughter.
Mm.
I'm my mom's daughter outside the office. I'm on the phone with my mom
Yeah.
most of the time. So
Okay.
yeah.
No, I wish we had more time, but
Yeah,
I
no,
think
it's been
we spoke a lot, and yeah, maybe final remarks. What's next for Vangile? Are you working on something that you like everyone to know, or but yeah, just your final remarks before we close it off.
Okay. I think, yeah, I'm trying to go back to studying, because you can never be, educated enough.
Yeah.
There's always, I think somebody asked and said, so what's next?
Yes.
In life, you always have to have your next, and it does not even have to be the biggest next ever.
Yeah.
It's just that, okay, fine, I'm doing this, then what's next? Because you don't want to be just doing that. You have to have your next. And so I have enrolled. I'm trying to go back to studying.
Yeah.
Maybe, we're aiming for exact money. We'll see how
Yeah.
life goes. But, apart from that, the final thing is, there's so many things that happens in life, and I've seen that with kids today, things must be perfect, and things are never perfect. So people must just understand things are never perfect. You just have to have a mindset of, this is what I want for myself, and I'm gonna legally get that right, and you just work towards that. I have my cousin's daughter right now that actually just went back and rewrote her matric, because she only got all level sevens except for two things, and she's not happy with those level six.
Hey.
I'm proud,
Yeah.
because that's what she wants. That's what she wants. And when I ask, but you can do something with those results, those are perfect results.
Yeah.
What you can do, she goes like, I know that I didn't get level 7 there because I was writing slow and time was not on my side. That's why I dropped. But know yourself, knowing myself, I could have gotten level 7 in everything. So know yourself, know what you want,
Yeah.
and go for it. Whether papa thing higher, mama thing higher, you have support or you don't. Because sometimes we tend to give up because nobody is supporting us, but they don't have to cheer you on. You can cheer for yourself.
Wait, and I think we wrapped it quite well, and we on our side, I think again, really learned to thank you for honoring the invitation. It's been a while since we isa kwala kwa, but ke a leboga for tlile. And from your journey, from your story, with everything that you've been through, not only me, I know people who gonna watch this episode, they're gonna feel inspired by your journey, where you come from. We really want to say we appreciate you. for yourself. I like how to be alone, but not self. I'm motivated and inspired, and you play an important role in in everyone's life, from your family, from your mom, from your siblings, and to us as well. When when I know that there's such people from Ekaslav who are doing good, uh, from not having much that we didn't have, but to where we are right now, sitting out SNT and having lunch. We never thought we were gonna reach there. And when that happens on a random Wednesday, we can just go and blow out we are fine. What's that? You know, but I just wanted to thank you, and this is going to be one for the books, because of now you're gonna get invitations from social medias. Now they're gonna take you Oscar mind, but yeah, I would like to thank you, and yeah, hopefully they'll learn something from your journey and get to be like, if she could pass through that, Nami, I can do it. And for that, I thank you so much.
Thank you.
And yeah, Buffett to now taking a sponsor. Voice note.
It's you. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have done that. Oh, you shouldn't have.